Thanks for following us for part 2 of our Ha Giang Loop motorcycle adventure. If you missed it, you can watch part 1 with the card at the top of this video. In part 1, we start in Ha Giang and head over to Dong Vinh, where we checked out some great roads with mountain views, the northernmost point of Vietnam, which is Long Cu flagpole, and also explored Old Quarter Dong Vinh. In part 2, we continue our trip and head over to Du Giai via some stunning roads and scenery, and then back to Ha Giang City where we all started. Make sure you watch to the end because that's where I give you a review of this whole trip and let you know also what to expect, especially if you are a motorcycle rider. Okay, so we're getting ready for day 3. Yesterday was day 2, and because I ordered the 4-day ride instead of a 3-day ride, they basically added on, had a local guide from Dong Van, because that's where we're at, and he took us up the mountains, got some really nice views, did some adventure riding Vietnam style. That was very memorable. And then we also went up to the Long Cu flagpole, which is the northernmost tip of Vietnam before you hit the China border. We actually saw the China border, so that was kind of neat. So overall, day 2 was so-so. It wasn't as many sights as day 1. It was a 75-kilometer day, and I would say that if I had to pick again, I probably wouldn't do a 4-day ride if that is the extra day. I'd probably just do a day 3. But you know, it's fine. The roads were so-so. You probably would have had better roads on the first day and probably on today. So today now, the guides are just getting ready, packing up the bikes and everything. We're getting ready. We've had breakfast. We're leaving the homestay here in Dong Van, and then we're gonna be making our way down to Mio Vac, which is I think like a valley, a lake, and then also down to Du Giai waterfall. This is a popular spot where you can actually jump off. It is winter here. It's almost December, the end of November. So I don't think I'd be jumping in, but I'm sure there'll be people there, so I'll show that to you. Tonight we'll be in Du Giai, and then the next day we're heading back to Ha Giang. Now a few viewpoints that we stopped at, which is very memorable, and you'll see coming up. This one's quite beautiful. You'll see rice fields on this mountainside, windy roads. That was very nice. We stopped by this day market en route, and that was interesting. There was a truck that blocked the whole market, and you gotta check that out. It's coming up for you. And this viewpoint was quite gorgeous also. The mountains was just unreal, and I'm glad we made a stop there. And all that is coming right up. So we're in Mio Vac right now, and this is a viewpoint, really busy, as you can see why. We are in the Dong Van Geopark though, and it is a UNESCO heritage site, so pretty interesting. Definitely worth checking out. There's some caves and stuff around the mountains. There's this gorgeous view, and I love how the mountains just layer up. We're in the morning right now. Speaking of caves, there's one right here. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm surprised there's not more people here. But the tribes must have used this as their shelter before. So over there is the walkway, and you get to the tip there, you get a beautiful shot. It is a bit dangerous and a bit rocky. Sometimes could be loose, so be careful. Have good footwear. Wow. Look at this. Gorgeous, isn't it? That viewpoint is amazing and it's totally worth it. Just be careful though, because it is loose rocks that you're hiking, and well worth it. Another fun fact is that over there, with all the misty mountains, a few layers over, that's actually China. So you're looking directly north right now. You can actually walk all the way up, and there's a skywalk up there. Now, if you don't want to walk, you could pay these guys and they'll just take you up, just like these guys here. They'll come to you and ask you, so probably better to take a ride up if you don't have much time. So this is a monument to the 14 teenagers that died when they were opening this road up. It was quite laborious, manual labor, lots of rocks, steep hills and everything. And 14 of them passed away. There's a small museum in here if you have the time. I think it shows this area in the north. These are the local indigenous people. Another popular stop point, viewpoint. This is Ma Pilung, and it's right after that sky bridge, skywalk. So we're at a viewpoint stop here, and we're looking over at the canyon now. This is supposed to be Vietnam's deepest canyon. Actually, it's Southeast Asia's deepest canyon. So they call this the first Vietnam Pass. But that is Ma Pilung. And it's just gorgeous overlooking all of that. there are the villages of the Hmong people, which is an indigenous tribe here. Check that out. Okay, so that is what's up there. It's the French fortress.
Yeah, the slums.
Or the remains of it, at least. This French military ruin on the way to Du Jai is actually a UNESCO heritage site. If you climb up the top of the ruin, you'll be treated with a great view of the mountain and valley across the way. For those who weren't aware, Vietnam was actually occupied by the French during their colonization period, which started in the 1880s and lasted for 6 decades. During this period, traditional local temples, pagodas, monuments, and buildings, some of which stood for centuries, were destroyed and replaced with buildings of French architecture. The Vietnamese names of cities, towns, and streets were also changed to French names, and this is why the Vietnamese language takes up the French characters and accents today. Before this point, the Vietnamese were actually using Chinese characters for their language. So this is the Du Jai waterfall. I guess it's a local watering hole, if you will. So we'll come here for a dip and a drink. Okay, so we finally finished today. It's day 3 today, and we're checking into Du Jai, which is just nestled in the mountains here. So it's quite nice. I think today was probably about an 80-kilometer day, maybe 90. It wasn't too bad. The first viewpoint at Mule Vac was beautiful, just gorgeous. And then after that, the roads were under construction for the longest time, right up until lunch. So that wasn't enjoyable. I was like all in dust and everything like that. And then the last attraction was the waterfall, which was so-so. Yeah, so today probably very scenic. The roads not worth talking about, but the scenery gorgeous. That was a highlight today. And now we're checked in, and I do like this homestay more. I asked for a private room, so I actually get a private room like this. Actually my own bungalow with washroom, thank God. The only thing I'm a bit suspicious is this pink canopy here, but oh well. This homestay continues to impress me. There's 3 plugs on one wall, not 2, 3, but there's also plugs here right by the bedside, and there's plugs there. Buildings and homestays in Vietnam is pretty stingy for plugs, so I'm easily impressed when I get to see so many plugs to charge all my devices. Oh, and also there's a blow dryer. This is the first homestay that actually has a blow dryer, believe it or not. So I'll show you how dusty the roads were. That was the back side. This is the front side. Pretty gross. I gotta clean all of my gear out, my camera, my jacket, my shoes. So in Vietnam, I noticed that they have super secure Wi-Fi passwords. Everywhere that we went, it's either 66668888, because 6 and 8 are a lucky number, or the last one we were at was I think like 8 8s. This one is also 88, and that's at the homestay section. So then when I went to bungalow, it was a different password, and actually different Wi-Fi channel altogether. And I guessed the password, it didn't work. I couldn't crack it. I was thinking it's like either 4 6 again or 4 8s. So I went to the front desk and asked. Nope. You know what it is? Very secure. It's 9 9s. So 9999999. 9 9s. Super secure. And over there, I think that's the dorms and the homestay part of it. Overall, it is a much better homestay than the one in Dong Van. Miên. Come on.
How many noodle soup?
Got a bowl of instant noodles here. So far for breakfast, I've had pancake, I've had bread, and instant noodle. So last night we stayed at My Homestay, which is in Du Gia, and it's much better than the one that we stayed in Dong Van. The rooms are better, the less people, not as noisy, the setting is nicer. Hot water for nice long shower, so everything was good there for me. I didn't stay in the dorm, I stayed in the private room, and in the private room I actually got a whole bungalow to myself, like a whole cabin to myself, so that was really nice. Definitely would come back here. I guess the sad part is, because I took the 4-day trip, I spent 2 nights in that crappy homestay. I think it's called Happy Homestay in Dong Van. I'll post up the actual name. So if I was doing 3 days, that'd be only 1 night in that homestay in Dong Van, and that might be bearable, but 2 days was just pushing over the edge. The second day I couldn't stand the meal anymore and staying in that homestay, so we went to the old town of Dong Van instead and explored, and that was fun. Okay, so yesterday, day 3 was kind of riding through some rough stuff. Wasn't great. The road, half of the road was kind of really bumpy and dirty and dusty and all that stuff. Nothing really to talk about. They brought us to a waterfall, but it was, I'd say, underwhelming. Today, hopefully it'll be better. Day 4. So today the plan is to ride from Du Gia, which is where we're at now. Just look at this, gorgeous, right? It's nestled in the mountains. But we're gonna be riding from this area to Long Ho waterfall. From the photo, it looks more impressive than yesterday's waterfall, so hopefully it turns out to be good. And then we'll head back down to Ha Giang, have lunch before we hop on the bus and head back to Hanoi. This is how they fill up gas in the small towns.
Rồi ngồi lên đấy. Đẩy đi, để ý đẩy nhá. Nó bị bay được.
Very curious how this big truck is expected to get through this tight marketplace. Let's see. Our motorcycle group had to detour to get around to clear some way for them. Everyone's turning around so this guy can get through. Now you wonder why they're setting up market in the middle of a busy street and not leaving much room for trucks anyways. That guy, that merchant, has to take off the bamboo pole. Now everything back to normal. Reset up. So this is the small little village that we saw from up the viewpoint there. I think they said this village is called Long Phi. Small little village. Mostly, I guess, the mountain people and everyone around here live here. Well, a lot of them live on the mountain, but they come down here, and this is the main square, the main marketplace. So this is the market, and apparently it happens on Sunday only. It's the Highland Market. The street stalls and everything, that's only Sundays, but this part, that's their regular market. That's their which is their regular market, and that happens every day. Look at the size of these woks. They're huge. In Chinese, we call it Dai Walk, which basically means that you're in big trouble when you see a big walk like that. So as you can see here, most of the people doing the market and everything, these are the Hmong people. I think they pronounce it Hmong. There's an H in front of it. But they are the indigenous people around this area, these mountains. That's why you see so many of them. Yeah, so a few things about the Ha Giang Loop. It's beautiful, it's scenic, but you know, it's nothing like the Rockies that we have at home. Very different, but it's still it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Now, what you have to know though is it's definitely not fast. The roads here does not allow it to be fast. First of all, you got potholes everywhere, and not just like small pothole size, construction size potholes. So you got to be careful with that. The scenery is super distracting. Plus you add in that people here in Vietnam don't drive or ride like in North America. It's all over. They really don't have lanes. They basically make the best of everything, and you got big trucks crossing through, you got scooters weaving around. So you got to pay attention to all of these obstacles while you're trying to navigate these super tight twisties. The speed limit here I think is like 60 or 70 kilometers. Most people are going like 40, 50 because they're enjoying it. So yeah, it's not one of those roads where it's fast. Now you may think that, for those of you who like the twisties, may think that that's not that much fun. It's actually a lot of fun. It's got its own fun factor for sure. I'm not sure what it is. Well, first, for one thing, everyone else rides at about the same time as you, so it really doesn't matter. Relatively speaking, you still feel fast if you get up to like 70 or so. That's what I was doing, and sometimes 80, but it's really pushing it for those tight torn corners with all the hazards on the road. I'd say take it easy if you were here. If you're not an experienced rider, I would recommend that you book a driver, so then you get on the back. There's 10 of us in our group, and I'm the only one that's riding. Everyone else decide to have their own driver, then they can chill, enjoy the scenery, and also take photos on the back. Now, one other thing you should note is if you are self-driving, make sure you have a driver's license, international driver's license. They do check it. They check at the rental, but then also on the cops, there's checkpoints where they will actually pull over tourists. They know who's tourists. They pull me over, but not my guide. So they kind of know, and they want to check for that. Otherwise, you'd be in trouble. So make sure you get your international driver's license first before you get here. If you're debating between the 3-day or 4-day trip, I would say stick with the 3 days unless you have a lot of time to kill anyways. Also, I would highly recommend that you choose a private room for your homestay. You will thank me. If you missed it, you can watch part 1 where I showed you the difference between the shared and private rooms, so you know what to expect. Thank you for joining us on this 2-part adventure of the Ha Giang motorcycle loop. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you more of these content. I'll leave you with this interesting thought, and then we'll see you in the next video. So I'm very curious how they got those 2 motorbikes onto that bus. Very curious.